In fact, I remember someone saying to me in Nigeria, actually, when I was doing some gender work, you're not a feminist because you're a Christian. These two things are at odds. And she was very serious about it. And she was like, we cannot work together on XYZ project.
Oh, wow.
One of the first things I learned how to read was the Bible. So I've been reading the Bible cover to cover for many years now. But I always had questions around women, and I would go to my father with those questions. Like one of the first things that stood out to me was in the Bible, like those genealogies that they say so-and-so begat so-and-so begat so-and-so.
And you're seeing the son of this.
Yes, and I'm like, well, where are the women at though? And that was my first exposure to gender, honestly. My dad got sick, and these people came from the village, which was Benue. People I had never seen, didn't know. And they all surrounded my mom. I remember my mom being in a circle in our living room, and they were all speaking in Idoma, which I don't understand. We were raised to speak Hausa. And I remember, my mom was told to be quiet. Even my people from church kind of like let the men talk. But also them just saying things like, oh, she's trying to kill him, I remember my aunt saying, I wish you were a boy. Because if you were a boy, you would have had a say as the first child. And that was the first time I was like, oh, being a woman makes me different. So when my father eventually passed, I remember chaos in church around my mother being ordained the pastor. And so that kind of just unearthed this study for me. In many ways, I was uncomfortable with parts of the Bible because we had grown up being taught the Bible, X is X and Y is Y.
And you can't shift it. You can't change it.
You can't. But then when my father got sick, we did all the things that the Bible said to do, and he still died. And that for me was the beginning of this thing of reading the Bible literally, we need to re-examine it. And so I've spent, I would say, at least a decade studying just theology because I felt like there were always only two paths. If you're a feminist, you cannot be Christian. In fact, I remember someone saying to me in Nigeria, actually, when I was doing some gender work, you're not a feminist because you're a Christian. These two things are at odds. And she was very serious about it. And she was like, we cannot work together on XYZ project.
Oh, wow.
Like it was, she was like, feminism is like a religion. You cannot and she was so dead set about it. And she's, a big leader in the space as well. So for me, I always felt like I was not at home anywhere because in the faith spaces, it's like, this feminism thing is actually witchcraft. I've heard people tell me it's witchcraft.
It's manipulative it's
from the devil.
I've heard is idolatry. It's idolatrous because
are you serious?
Yeah, putting women's interests.
Yeah.
Can I say pastor's daughters, we go through a lot.
It's Jezebel's spirit.
It's rebellious.
It's going against divine order, etc. And the more I studied the Bible, the more I realized actually my faith is what fuels my feminism and my feminism fuels my faith.